TBC, what's the deal? Now, yes, I have given my reaction to the fight. Just my initial reaction as a boxing fan, as a fan that wants to see the middleweight division go back to being a damn middleweight division and not the 155-pound division, so on and so forth. So I gave my opinion about, well, my reaction to the fight. Now I'm gonna calm it down. I'm gonna take my emotions out of it, my personal feelings out of it, and I'm gonna just break down the fight as I see it. Now, first, let me give off by going a different route and giving Amir Khan some props. Really quick. Now, when Amir Khan comes out and says, I'm gonna prove what Mayweather couldn't do, when he says that to me, that doesn't make sense because Mayweather has already beaten him. Now, I know it was at 152, yada yada. I'm not gonna go into the whole story. But one thing I do, so I gotta stay consistent. One thing I do is give props and praise to fighters that are testing themselves. Even if they get in there with somebody where I personally feel like, man, what the hell are you doing? Even if I feel like that, if you're going in there, going into those situations and you really feel as if, you're going to win. Now we can say, oh, it's for the money. Well, everything's for the money. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying I have to give him his props as far as that goes. Because I would be hating if I just didn't sit here and say, look, man, this motherfucker about to test himself against a guy. For him personally, I think it's a tough fight for him. Now, he's not Mayweather. So for Mayweather, it wasn't, as tough on fight night. For Khan, for him personally, I'm not comparing him to nobody else except himself. To me, this is a big step up for him. Okay, now, weight issue. I looked at these guys, Amir Khan turned pro at 138. Canelo turned pro at 139, okay? Khan is 29 years old, Canelo's 25. Both of these guys have fought world-class opposition. Whether these guys were in different levels of their career at the time he fought them. Some of these guys were undefeated prospect levels when he fought them. Paulie Malignaggi, Maidana, even Paul McCloskey, at that time when he fought him was a good fight. Zab Judah, a little bit older in his career, but it was a good test. Lamont Peterson, the Garcia win, Collazo, Alexander, so on and so forth, okay? He just fought Chris Algieri. Canelo, he's fought Cotto, Kirkland, Laura, Angulo, Floyd, Trout, Mosley, Carlos Baldomir, so on and so forth. What I will say is this. Now when I look at that part, I believe Canelo can beat anybody that Khan has fought rather easily. All those guys, I think he beats them. I think he beats Peterson, Garcia. My opinion, but I think he beats all those guys. Khan, you put him against the guys that Canelo has fought, I'm not sure he beats all these dudes. I'm not sure. I can't just 100% sure say he beats Josecito Lopez. Some of you may feel different. Okay, that's your opinion. I'm not trying to change your opinion, just like you're not going to change mine. Watching Lopez fight over the years, it'd be, Khan probably could beat him, but it'd be tough. Just put it that way. It'd be a tough fight. Trout, at that point in time, I don't think Khan beats Trout. I don't think Khan beats Floyd. I know a lot of you feel as if he'll beat Floyd right now. That's fine. I don't think he beats Floyd. Angulo, he might be able to outwork. Laura, I see Laura beating Khan pretty easily. Just my opinion. I see Cotto beating Khan. Just my opinion. Some of you may think that Khan will be able to use his hand speed and his mobility to beat Cotto. I don't think so. Kirkland, now we could say, oh, could you really picture Amir Khan knocking out Kirkland? Or maybe even outpoint him? He probably could. Kirkland, not the defensively responsible fighter, and we know he has power but doesn't move his head as much. Maybe he could outpoint him, but I don't see him beating some of these guys, and if he did beat him, he'll be in for tough fights. Okay, now, but I see, I would pick Khan over Mosley and Gomez and Cintron and Ryan Rhodes of the world. I would pick him to beat those guys. Now I had one guy go back and forth with me, another uploader, and he was saying that I'm not giving Algieri enough credit, for the Khan fight. No, Algieri fought a good fight against Amir Khan, but my thing is he was walking Khan down and it just looked really weird. Now the guy came back and said, oh, well, Algieri's a physical fighter. Huh? Okay, that's your opinion. Okay, my opinion is Algieri has become more physical in his more recent fights. The fight with Eric Bonet and the fight with Amir Khan, the switch over in trainers, the John David Jackson. I think Jackson has him fight a little bit more aggressive. Okay, but before that, when I seen him fight Emmanuel Taylor on ESPN and Provodnikov and Pacquiao, he didn't look physical to me. He looked like a guy that likes to use his quickness, his hand speed, fight off his back foot, try to create angles with his legs going back. That to me isn't physical. Now, if that's physical to you, fine. But I don't. Now, his last few fights, he has fought more physical, like I said. So I think Amir Khan got caught off guard because he didn't think Algieri's going to step right to him and take the fight to him like that with the high guard. So I thought he was caught off guard a little bit. So Khan fought off his back foot and he was able to control the fight for the most part. I thought Algieri kind of ran out of steam late in the fight. Khan was going back a little bit, making it difficult for him. But I don't view Chris Algieri as this career-long physical fighter. Like I said, the last two fights he's been more physical. But if you view him as this career-long physical guy, that's your opinion. All right. Now, as far as I had to break all this down because there's a lot to talk about. It's not just the fight, you know. Now we know this 155-pound shit that Canelo's doing. With his last few fights, he's weighed in at this 155. Whether it's, you know, he weighed in at 155 for Cotto, 154.5 for Kirkland, 155 for Laura, and 155 for Angulo. So he's comfortable with this 155 shit that he does. You know what I mean? Dude, I mean, Amir Khan has the ability to come out, let his hands go, and could he catch Canelo early, maybe with something he doesn't see? Now, I've seen Canelo put up the high guard and let you get off. He did it with Lopez, and he got caught with some really good shots in the Lopez fight. But it was it came off as if he was just letting him get off. And he's like, all right, that's all you got? Okay, and I'm going to just walk you down with the jab, right hand, left hook. I'm going to land left hooks to your body. I'm going to make you quit. That's what it seemed like he was doing in that fight. You know what I mean? So, Amir Khan, man, you know, with him, he does like to fight off his back foot. He's decent fighting off the back foot. But on the inside, I think Canelo's going to rough him up when they get inside. I think from mid-range, Canelo's going to be able to take his shots and get the better of Khan. If Khan gets to go on that back foot, we know Khan has showed tendencies in some of his fights. When he's going off his back foot a lot, what does he do? He starts to gas a little bit. Now, he will hang in there, but he starts to gas a little bit. You know what I mean? He's susceptible to left hooks. That's my opinion. And that's one of Canelo's favorite punches. You know, if he sits in the center of the ring with Canelo, some people have this idea that he's just he's just a so much better, just pure boxer than Canelo. And I'm not sure. Canelo has good combinations like boxers usually, like good boxers do. He has good foot movement that he has showed over, you know, his past few fights. He can be flat-footed at times, but shit, a lot of people look flat-footed when you're fighting Laura and Mayweather. I mean, these dudes have some of the best set of legs at those weight classes, man. I mean, that's creme de la creme. You know what I mean? That's not just some pedestrian fighters that have good movement. I mean, those dudes have excellent movement. So shit, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Canelo looked a little flat-footed against those guys. Now, he can revert to going flat-footed on his own. You know, he just likes to do it, you know. But, you know, years ago, man, I'm just using this example. You know, people got mad at Michael Nunn when he was the IBF champ years ago. I believe it was like maybe it was 1990, late 80s. I know it was a long time ago, but when he was the champ, he had the IBF strap, and he was, what, 6'1", damn near 80-inch reach. And Marlon Starling came up from welterweight and fought him. And I remember people were pissed off at Michael Nunn. They didn't really like him, you know, because you never knew what you were going to get with Nunn. You know, he beat Frank Tate, you know, stunning knockout against Colin Bay, and then the performance against Barkley. And then he went and fought Marlon Starling and Donald Curry right after. So people were like, man, you fighting all these fucking small dudes. But now, to Nunn's defense, he was trying to get fights with, you know, he wanted everybody. He wanted Hearns, Leonard, get fucking Hagler retirement. He wanted to fight the top guys. You know what I mean? But Marlon Starling, now this is a different situation. You know, Starling was, what, 5'8", had a 73-inch reach. He was a career-long welterweight for like 10 years. You know what I mean? And he moved up and challenged himself, you know what I mean, against Michael Nunn. Some people thought, what is he doing? You know, he was a great welterweight, but he might get stretched out against this young upstart Michael Nunn. Nunn had about, what, 4 or 5 years his junior going into that fight. And Marlon Starling put up a pretty damn good performance, man. pretty damn good performance on the scorecards. And then he was backing Nunn up against the ropes, banging away at Nunn. It looked kind of weird watching Nunn against the ropes against Starlin. You know what I mean? But this is a different dynamic with this fight because Khan's not the younger guy moving up. He's the older guy. He may have like an inch or so on Canelo. They have Canelo taller on BoxRec, but I think when they stood next to each other, Khan may have like an inch on him or so. The reach is the same, you know what I mean? So the dynamics are different. And like I said, both these guys turned pro around the same weight. 138 for Khan, 139 for Canelo. You know, now do I think there's a glimmer of hope that Khan can move around the ring and kind of simulate some of the things Mayweather and Laura was able to do? He might be able to. Like I said, though, Laura and Floyd have the set of the best legs, man, as far as being able to move around the ring, create separation, walking you into traps, making you follow them. You know, so it's, you know, and I like Khan. He has good hand speed. He has good power, good combinations, but all of this is at welterweight. You know what I mean? Canelo's a big dude. Don't let this 155 shit fool you. This dude's like a 180-pound dude. You know what I mean? Fight night, he's gonna rehydrate at least. I don't know if they have a clause, but he's gonna probably come in at 172, 170, something like that, I'm sure. Khan, you know, Canelo's used to weighing being a little bit heavier. How is Khan going to react? I mean, you're just skipping from, you know, 147 up to 155. You know what I mean? So, and I only care about these weights issues because these fighters at these smaller weight classes, they care about the weights. You know, these 3 and 2 pounds concern these guys. You know what I mean? So, and physically, sometimes you can tell it hampers these guys. So it's a little bit different with the smaller weight classes, but I just think whatever Khan tries to do, he's going to get beat. You know, he may have a little faster hands than Canelo, but you're putting on weight. You're trying to get a little bit muscular. I don't know if he's going to do the whole, you know, I'm going to say stay small and go into the fight weighing 150, 149. You know, as far as the weigh-in, stay small and keep my speed, or is he going to try to come in at 155 and then weigh in even, you know, then on the night of the fight, weigh in even heavier? I'm not sure. But if he comes in try to be heavier and put on some bulk, it's going to slow down his punches. And him a little bit slowed down, that might equal Canelo's speed, or Canelo might be a little bit faster. Canelo's not a slow puncher. You know what I mean? He's not this slow plotter guy. He can get flat-footed, but like I said, against guys with excellent hand speed. And sometimes he'll go flat-footed because if your guy likes to just sit there and stand there and slug it out, that's what he wants to do. He showed some movement in the Trout fight. Even Mayweather, he was showing some, you know, just different head movements and able to roll and dip and bend, showing different dynamics. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's an uphill battle for Khan, man. But I think as soon as they start getting into exchanges, I think Canelo's gonna get the best of the exchanges. I don't think Khan can outbox him as easy as some people think. Some people think, oh yeah, go in there, use your speed, not box him. It's like, shit, I've seen Canelo do some of the sort of same things offensively as far as combinations, keeping a high guard defense and getting his work in. Don't think he's physical enough, man. I just think the physicality of the fight will catch up. The first few rounds going to be exciting. I think it will be a fill out. I don't think Canelo's going to come out there and just go balls out. But again, maybe Khan can get Canelo's respect, maybe with a lead right hand or a lead hook. He's going to have to get his respect. And I think he's going to have to throw some leads in there, because if he just tries to jab and set everything up, everything off the jab, might not work. But just try to throw some leads in there, you know, and let's really test and see how well Canelo's reflexes are. You know, so there are some things Khan can do, but he likes to pull back with his hands down sometimes. I just see him getting caught, man. I just see him getting caught. I'm going to go with Canelo in this fight. I know I was all over the place a little bit, but there's so much to talk about and so much to break down in this fight. I'm sure I'll do another video, but right now, this is my thoughts of this fight. I'm going to go with Canelo by knockout, 8 rounds. I don't see this going the distance, and if it does, I see Khan on his bicycle a lot in this fight. I think he would have a better chance if he was the type that would sit in front of Canelo and make him miss in the pocket, but Khan's really not an in-the-pocket type of fighter. You know, not against elite world class. I don't think he is, but I'm going to go with Canelo by knockout. I'm going to say 7th or 8th round. YTBC. I'm out.